All right. Here we go, baby. All right, what's going on, everyone? So, welcome to Parlor Talk, episode 2. We're super stoked to be here. We got some really special guests tonight. So we got, first up, we're going to do some industry talk with my man DJ Cam, hailing all the way from Hoboken, New Jersey. He's got us patched in right now. And then followed up next, after Cam, we got SM1LO, brand new duo act, two really talented guys we're going to talk a little bit about, a little bit more artist interview. But Cam, how the hell you doing, man?
Brian, Chris, thanks for having me. Things are status quo in Hoboken. We're on lockdown, bunkered up, got a bunch of supplies, bunch of booze, bunch of food, a lot of hand sanitizer, and just trying to make the most of it, man. That's what it's all about. Shout out to all those healthcare workers that are working around the clock, taking care of, those in need. And shout out to you guys really for putting together an awesome piece for us to look forward to every night at 8 o'clock. So shout out to the Parlor.
Yeah, dude, awesome. So, we're just trying to make the best of the situation. A lot of guys are going live, and we fully support it. I know you're working on right now. If you're a DJ that's tuned in, reach out to DJ Cam or myself for putting together a list. We're trying to just organize the live streams. I mean, people are going live all the time, and we just want to make sure that people can have access to when people are going live, and they can tune in to find their people, right? And then also just so 3 guys, 4 guys aren't going live at 8 o'clock. There's plenty of time. Everyone's kind of stuck in the house right now all around. So, we just want to make sure, bring some organization to it. But so Cam's working on that. But I think just from an industry talk perspective, today we wanted to touch on brand. I know you have been investing a lot in your Instagram, and you're going to be taking this new brand, Ledge, to the next level. So let's talk a little bit about I want to talk more about personal branding for DJs as tips for them. Maybe what are some things or some tips or tricks you would give someone who's starting up their Instagram, and because it's really our press kit, right? That's really what it is. So maybe talk to that.
Yeah, for sure, Brian. And all social platforms are really important to the overarching brand. But before you even look at the social content, you really need to take a step back and look at yourself as a person, right? Like, you and I have a personal relationship, so you know better than most, but I'm a nut job, right? Like, I have a lot of energy. I like to have a good time. I like to go out there and give it my all. Like, I take every single gig, whether there's 3 people in the room or 3,000 people in the room, as if it were my last gig. So you really need to come in with that energy and think to yourself, what is the perception of who you are as a person, right? Like, are you a good-hearted person? Is it real or is it fake, right? Like, are you just showing up, shaking hands and expecting a gig, or have you built a relationship with the owners, with the GMs, with the bartenders? Do you know the cooks' names? Do you know the barbacks' names? I would attribute a lot of my success over the years to those relationships and staying true to myself as a person. So first and foremost, before even going into the I guess the social aspect, which is really important, especially now in 2020. For all of you DJs that are looking to break into the industry or are currently in the industry and just are curious to see how they can increase their brand, that would be my biggest piece of advice is stay true to yourself. I think Brian and Chris, you guys do a really good job of doing that. But me, I'm going to be me, and that's what people are going to expect, and that's what people are going to look forward to. As far as social activity is concerned, Gary Vee says you should be posting 100 times a day. That might be a little aggressive, but you should be active. Instagram in particular, I guess probably about half a year ago now to this point, I took a step back and I almost separated my personal life from my DJ life, right? Like, who I am, Cameron Nichols is, a little different from who I am as the brand DJ Cam. Not much. Right. It's a fine line. But, separating my family and my friends and what I post and how I go about promoting my brand, I took a step back. So for those that are afraid to, start anew and create a new account that's specifically for your personal use, go for it. Definitely the best move I made thus far. And then from there, as far as the posts that I put out there, it's a mix, right? You want people to feel the energy and the excitement of the room, but they also want to understand who you are as the artist, as the DJ, what your brand is really truly all about. So I've been fortunate. I've been surrounded by some great work and help. Brian, you've done some content for me over the years. So you and guys like Will and Visionary Ventures and
Yeah,
guys
yo,
like Jay
shout out
Lenz,
Will.
who we all know. They've been instrumental in helping me curate this content to put out there to my audience, and thus, has been very successful thus far.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. First of all, I want to welcome Chris Lead into the set. Chris is joining us today. He was helping us out yesterday, engineering, but today we figured it out, got all the IT stuff organized. So Chris is going to join us in the conversation. I agree with a lot of the
Lovely.
stuff that you were saying around keeping your brand on Instagram it's your press kit, right? So it's okay to separate the personal and the business. I think you should do that. I'm going to take a quick pause. We got a lot of people on my Instagram live feed right now. So if you guys can hear me on Instagram, head over to youtube.com/ClassKills. You can live stream it there. You'll be able to see DJ Cam, and later on Smilo will be joining us. So if you guys are
I
on,
look very handsome.
if you're on
Very
the
handsome.
Gram feed, appreciate you guys. Hop over to our YouTube,
Ledge.
youtube.com/kills/ClassKills. And you can jump over there and check out Cam and the Ledge brand. So, no, I think that's good. That's just a lot of knowledge that Cam dropped on us. Chris, why don't you talk a little bit about, what are your thoughts on your branding in terms of your Instagram? Like, how frequently do you post, and, post versus stories, comments versus engagement, stuff like that.
I think we've all had a lot of free time these past couple days and probably in the coming weeks. So definitely trying to stay relevant, post a lot of content. I'm sure most of you guys are here because you saw one of the three of us posting content this week about us doing this every night. So, thank everyone for coming out or for signing in, I should say. Usually everyone's coming out. For now, we're just signing in. And I
We're
think
signing in.
like Cam said before, it's important to get out and network. But I think in situations like this where we can't network, this is the network. Sign in, engage with us, comment, ask us questions. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah, it's a good point. Like, I know a lot of us, like, from a DJ perspective, would always be like super, like, going in, shaking hands, talking to people. That's where if you wanted to go play at a new place, what do? You go there, support the DJs. You go shake the hand of the manager. You meet some people there, and that's kind of how you network in and try to get yourself lined up for a gig. We kind of that has been completely stopped now, right? There's no opportunity to go out. So what we're trying to do with Parlor Talk, the Class Kills team, yourself, and Chris Lee and everyone is just give access to different people. So you're going to see us publishing a full list of a schedule already 7 days out, where we have artists we're going to feature and industry talk, and we're going to keep the same format. We want to give people the opportunity to meet the people behind the curtain, right? You see, everyone sees the pictures, DJ Cam at Dare, and Zot Porta, and Chris at Teak, and go down the list of all the premier venues that people play. Right, but sometimes you don't get to meet them or get a feel for their personality. So we're gonna try to, like, open up that box, peel back the onion a little bit. Give guys and girls, anyone that's DJing or on industry related, just get a feel for who's Cam, what's he all about. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the Ledge brand and what you're looking to do there? Because a lot of people have been seeing the posts, right? A lot of people are asking me, they're like, "What's up with this Ledge thing?" So we
A
wanted to bring you
lot
on.
of people.
Yeah, talk
No,
about it. Talk about it.
no, I appreciate you bringing it up, and it's crazy. I would say, what is it, 2020? 7 years ago, we just started saying it around the office. Obviously, I work full time, during the week, and who's legendary and who's a ledge, or who is. It almost turned into like a term of endearment, and it's become a part of my like brand. Like, when I walk into Green Rock in Hoboken, or I walk into Wicked Wolf in Hoboken, like I get greeted. I don't get called by Cam anymore. Like, it's like Ledge, this and that. And I'm like, even you guys, I've been best friends with you guys since 2012, and I get on the phone and it's not even Cam anymore. It's Ledge. I took a step back and I was like, holy shit, this is this is a brand. This is something that people could get behind and feel good about. It's a term of endearment. It's a lifestyle. And it's certainly marketable and something that's wearable too. So again, more details to come, but follow at Ledge Official on Instagram. We're going to be starting up a streetwear lifestyle type brand. Shout out to Parker Russo for helping me out with a lot of the content, and appreciate, Class Kills and Brian and Chris for pumping that out for me, and everybody that's pumped it out for me. But having a good support system obviously is first and foremost. But we'll see where this thing goes from there, and we'll have some fun with it. And again, that's at Ledge Official. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, I agree. Everyone's out here to support you, except that damn light guy from Porta.
Yeah, he just for whatever reason he sticks to the lights. That's his thing, and Bud Lights too.
Bud Lights, yeah, right. So it's a Ledge Official is a clothing brand, right?
It's going to be a wearable clothing brand.
Right.
We'll spare the details. I want to save some form of, I guess, an element of surprise, if you will,
Fair.
as far as like what we're going to specialize in. But at Ledge Official, it is going to be a lifestyle brand for the people. If you're a good person, if you're surrounded by good people, you are a Ledge. You fall into that category, and I promise you, that's a category you want to be involved with.
Yo, so Cam, quick question: how do we prevent people that aren't good people from wearing the brand?
It's a good question. I'm going to consult with my head of PR, Amaret Salvatore. She'll deal with all the non-believers, if you will. So,
right. So are we gonna?
I'll pass those questions along to the real boss.
Is this gonna be like pedo? Like we run up behind them and like hit them with like a can of spray paint or something in the shirt if like they're not supposed to be wearing it?
Take it off.
Nah, maybe rainbows are inside or confetti or something. CO2 tanks. We'll keep it something we know.
Oh yeah, I'm down for confetti. You just pop it right on them.
Confetti. I mean, listen, you name it, we're there. We know how to throw a party, that's for sure.
All right, so I have a really important DJ question for you.
Talk to me.
Yeah. Are you? What are you playing on right now, currently? And have you played on a controller? Would you play on a controller again? So tell us about your current setup, and then what's your thoughts on controllers.
So I think it's important to hear the story. I started DJing in 2012. I started on a Hercules controller. It was like the size of my fist, followed by like a Newmark controller, followed by a Pioneer. When the SX first came out, Pioneer SX, like I had the original. I started hanging around a Porta in Asbury Park, met a couple of people, Jesse Funk, and yours truly, Brian ZA. And I noticed that people were using these turntables that I thought were just like sitting in your house, and you'd put the needle on it and you just kind of listen to. These guys are scratching and cutting in and out of tracks. I'm like, I need to know I need to know how to do this. A guy by the name of Mike West, I know, down the shore, Tom's River area. I actually traded in my, he has like, I think an endless amount of Technique 1200s, but I traded in my SX back in 2012 for a pair of Technique 1200s, bought a 2-channel mixer, and haven't really looked back since. So up until maybe 4 months ago, I've been rocking a 2-channel mixer and Technique 1200s. With the time, the clock moving forward, and technology advancing. I have since switched to CDJ 2000s, and I rock on an S9. Love the S9 two-channel battle mixer. The crossfader is smooth as butter. The effects are great. The cue points are easy. Obviously you need to, as a DJ, you need to be extremely versatile. You never know what you're going to walk into the night of work. So I've rocked on anything from a 57 to a 62, a 64, a 900, and so on and so forth. But my preferred setup is an S9 along with two, CDJ 2000s.
But when you're feeling extra ledge, you'll rock on a 900 and just sticks.
Straight sticks, yes. Darren Atlantic City has quite the setup, and it's 900. It's 2000 Nexus, and you got guys like Dioro or Lost Kings or whoever coming up to the plate. You got to be prepared to, come back on once they're done. And the best way to rock is some sticks. And I think in your earlier segment, it was maybe Tuesday or Wednesday this week, Brian, you were talking about the importance of having a stick on deck. And like, that's like imperative, like for any and all DJs, like whether you're working on a mixer, or excuse me, a controller, or, two CDJs and an S9, you need to be able to DJ on anything. And you also need to be prepared for the worst, right? Like hope for the best, plan for the worst type of deal. Right. We've all been there before. Take some time, especially now when we have the time, to practice on sticks, right? If you have access to 2000s, plug the stick in and, listen, use your ear and read on Google and YouTube and watch these guys who do it so well. All of that's really, really important. So when you're faced with unfortunate obstacles, the night of a gig, at least you're prepared.
Yeah, no, and just to be specific for people listening, when we're talking about sticks and CDJ, we're talking about using the Pioneer Record Box software to load up a USB stick and push your tracks in onto the stick so it can be readable by a CDJ. So that's what we're talking about, very briefly. So there's a lot of people that, some people are DVS users, right? Serato DJ Pro. That's my primary form. I think Cam uses that as well. Or, if you have access to CDJs, then you can, use this record box software to push that information out there. And like Cam said, I think there's like thousands of YouTube videos and tutorials and things out there. But, reach out to any of us if you have any questions on it. But
Chris Lee gets text messages from me frequently when I'm having issues with my CDJ 2000s and/or sticks.
No, that's funny. Yeah, once again, for all the people that are on the Instagram feed, if you want to see DJ Cam's face, go over to youtube.com/ClassKills. You can hop off the Instagram feed and pop over to YouTube where you get the full experience. But yeah, I think that's good, Cam. I think it's important. All right, so without any commentary, a one-liner, single, straight-up answer here. What is your record pool of choice when you're downloading music?
Oh, can I have two answers to that question?
Let me restate the question. Your favorite single choice. If you could only use one for the rest of your career, what would it be?
iTunes? No, I'm kidding. I don't know. Digital music pool is really great. God, I'm trying to stick to one. Digital music pool is fantastic. Intros, clean, dirties, they're fantastic. Those guys are really good people. Sal Cianci, Cream, those guys. But for years, I've been using MP3 Pool online, and I love it. Both have been extremely helpful to me. So really great question, Brian. I know it's not exactly what you wanted as an answer, but DMP and MP3 Pool are the two biggest for me. But the old-fashioned listening to a podcast, listening to a live set, and
I couldn't agree more.
Doing some Shazamming and finding some tracks and IDs that otherwise wouldn't have been heard or would have been found on a pool does go a long way, and that takes time, and you have to take the time to do it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think there's any one single right answer when it comes to there is no the best music pool. I think it's what you like in terms of your style. I think that's one piece. The music that you like, and then don't forget, where are you playing regionally in the country? Are you traveling internationally? Are you playing older spots? Are you playing bars? Are you playing clubs? Are you playing intimate rooms? Are you playing rooftops? Are you playing big room? Are you doing festival? Like there's like the spectrum is so wide that I don't think there is any one single pull that's right.
And to elaborate on that, a point I did want to talk through is, it's easy to drop the hammers, Brian. Like Chris, you guys know that better than anybody. But being extremely versatile and being open to take on risk, right, and playing that random '90s throwback or early 2000s dance track, like you'd be surprised how a individual is going to react to it. I've always used like the barometer of like 90% of what we do is crowd control, right? Like playing the right song at the right time. And then the other 10% is, the technical aspects of it. But with that comes obviously preparation and building out your crates. And I think you guys have talked about it. The Get Down guys have talked about it. But I mean, I've gone as far as, and call me crazy, and at some point we've all done it. Like, I've gone as far as the old fashioned Google, top 100 tracks to play after 1 a.m. in a bar, and you'd be surprised what you find. And I promise you'll thank me in 3 months from now.
No, that's a good tip. That's some gold right there. You got to get creative with where you can refresh your crates, right? They're not making any more 80s music. They're not making any more 90s music, but there's definitely like those B-sides that you forget about that really make your sets unique and different. Because, listen, we all fall victim to it is I got my, whatever crate you have, and that has, 50, 60, 70, 80 tracks in there, and you're just slamming the same – a couple tracks back to back, and it works. Like, that's how it works. But when you play the same venue like yourself, you're between Wolf, Green Rock, and Dare. How are you spicing up your sets? And like same for guys like myself that have residencies, or Chris is at Teak every week. So it's like, how do you do what you said? Control the crowd, keep them engaged, but also sound fresh and new, because it's the same bartenders, the same managers, the same bar backs.
Exactly.
Like, all those people are working. So how do you make it interesting? And keep people interested in what you're doing. So. Cam, listen, man, we appreciate you 100%. Once again, how can people connect with you? What's your Instagram?
Absolutely. Yo, Bri, Chris, what you're doing is amazing. Loving Parlor Talk. Thank you so much for having me. My Instagram is at DJ _ Cam. Once again, that's at DJ _ Cam. Follow me on Instagram. Once again, for my clothing line, at Ledge Official. Follow Class Kills, follow Brian ZA, Chris Lee. You guys are fantastic. Shout out to all DJs in the New Jersey, New York area, and obviously, nationwide during these, unprecedented times. The best way to, kind of weather the storm is through the power of music. So I appreciate what you guys are doing.
Yeah, thanks, Cam. So once again, follow him, DJ _ CAM. And Ledge Official. It's on his shirt, LEDG Official. So go check him out. All right, so next up, we got our buddies SM1LO. We're going to patch them in. So if you guys are on the live stream, and you're on the Instagram, sit tight. We're just going to switch over. We're going to dial them in. So we're going to put you on hold for just a minute. Cam, thanks again, man. Be safe up there, bro.
You too, brother. Have a good one.
Hey guys, DJZA here. Super excited to share with you a live 1 hour mix from Green Rock in Hoboken, New Jersey. Enjoy.
You're listening to DJZA.
You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up.
Hey guys, real quick, if you guys are on the Instagram feed right now, hop over to our YouTube, youtube.com/ClassKills. You guys can check out SM1LO is going to be on there in just a minute. So if you guys are just logging into the Instagram, we appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Hop over to the Class Kills YouTube, youtube.com/ClassKills. We're about to dial in SM1LO, and we're going to do an artist interview with them. So sit tight. Thanks.
you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up.
Yeah. I have your other thing on in the background. Let me turn it off. Yeah. What's up? What's going on, bud?
Yeah.
Champ, listen, man.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, we're back. So, all right, guys, thanks for joining on. We're back, Parlor Talk here. I want to welcome on the live stream right now, SM1LO. So why don't you guys start off by just introducing yourselves, get everyone comfortable with who you guys are.
Mike, go ahead. Take the lead, man.
Yeah, we're SM1LO. That's our stage name. We're a duo. I've been writing music for a while. James has the DJ experience for many years, getting the crowd going. So we joined forces earlier this year. We had music coming out since 2018, and we got a great slew of music coming out soon.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. And, just a little bit about the type of music we do. Our music is, we're integrating elements of different styles. So we have house, future house, deep house, but mainly it's, that just nostalgic records, catchy hooks. We focus on melodies and catchiness of vocals. So we work with male and female vocalists, and we write and produce mainly all original music. Recently, we're starting to dabble into the remix realm too, and we're working on some edits as well. Some of the recent releases we had, starting in 2018 with a song "Love to Hurt" was released on Tommy Boy Records, got some decent traction. Recently with Phoenix, earlier last year, we tapped in the Russian market with him because he has a large following in Russia.
Awesome.
And it was supported by everybody from Oliver Heldens to Afrojack, Morgan Page, to name a few.
Right.
And obviously your buddy Castro, who had a good record with
Shout out to
Castro,
Ray.
who's on fire right now. And, a song called "Love to Hurt." And Katia Gleason, we used her. She's a TikTok influencer. She's ahead of the trend. So we're just collaborating with good people, making good music.
I like that. Where are you guys based out of?
All right, so we're based out of the Jersey Shore area, just like you guys, To be exact, I'm from Eatontown. Mike is from Aberdeen. Is that
No,
it?
Manalapan.
Manalapan. All right.
Yeah.
I bet Manalapan.
All right, we can't disclose exact locations, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me
Well,
your
listen,
social too.
I want to have a party at my house. So I'll gladly give my address right now.
No,
No,
that's
but
good
again,
stuff. So you guys are local.
Thanks again for this, guys. I mean, it's a great, the timing. You're trying to make the best out of what's going on right now in the world. So, appreciate what you guys are doing for the faith of good music.
No, 100%.
No.
Of course, and that's kind of like our idea here. And we appreciate you guys, hopping on, putting this together. Like, we want to help promote people and kind of get the word out here. So, all your fans will be able to see this. This is going to push. So this Parlor Talk episode is going to push to our YouTube channel, and then it'll be there. So you guys can kind of use this as like a get to know SM1LO type thing. And so that's kind of the idea. And like I said, we're lining up artists every day. There won't be another time, I think, Chris, and I'll agree with this, is where everyone is so much attention on. We can capture people's attention easily, and where I just have time off, like myself and Chris and you guys working DJs, grinding out 3, 4, 5, 6 gigs a week sometimes. Like, when are we ever going to get a chance where, like, socially it was okay to just not have any gigs? So
Exactly.
But so let's move on to the next question here. So tell me about like your inspirations, like maybe someone that inspired each of you individually, and then what is SM1LO? What's your inspiration? Like, what are you guys? Who do you look up to in order to like kind of drive your brand in that direction?
All right, so like for starters, what inspires me personally is anyone that has like a comeback story, like an underdog. Obviously, we'll talk about this at a later date, but I have a comeback story myself. I've been through some personal struggles and everything like that. So everyone loves a comeback story, and so do I. But overall, I think myself and Mike included, we're attracted to goal-driven and focused people, regardless if it's music, fashion, whatever you love to do. If you have a plan and you're grinding it day in and day out, these are the people we want to mess with. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, in today's society, a lot of the people do the bare minimum, and that's it. And you know what? We want to mess with the smaller percentage that goes above and beyond that most people don't do.
Yeah, no, that's great. I love your comeback story, Jim. I've heard it personally, and I don't know if it's the story for the whole world or at this time right now, but when the time's there, the outlet's here.
Yeah, and
No, absolutely.
So Mike, tell me, when...
touching on that, me, coming up, I started playing guitar at 13. So I've written, music since 13 as well. Grew up to a lot of rock alternative, just like a lot of us. So a lot of the music that inspired us was a classic rock, classic feel-good music that evokes a feeling, an emotion. So, and you combine that with some of the music that inspired, me in particular was, the trance progressive era, Armin van Buuren, Tiesto, Calvin Harris, and all those songs, they encompass a lot of vocals and it just really plays on your heartstrings. So that's what we're trying to do with our music.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, you know what? And I never touched on musically what inspires me or what has inspired me. So prior to me and Mike joining forces, I was an open format DJ. And in my early stages of becoming an open format DJ, I think anyone based out of New York, New Jersey area going back in the early to mid 2000s, if you're an open format DJ, hands down, you're going to say someone like DJ AM, DJ Riz, DJZA Hands, DJ Chachi. These are all guys that definitely inspired the hell out of me, and I think they probably inspired 90%, if not majority, of our industry in our area back in that time. And currently right now, people like A-Track, James Hype, Tiesto, of course, Oliver Heldens, Fetty Legrand. These are people that currently inspire me today.
Yeah, that's awesome, man, and that's quite a lineup. And they all have unique sounds, and they kind of cut through the wave. And I think that's good if you guys are, trying to find your unique sounds. Tell me a little bit about the horn track.
The horn track.
Yeah. What's the name of it?
Do you wanna blow my horn?
I hate that.
I like it.
That's my voice.
No, I mean, we heard it. So most recently, for those of you guys tuning in, we had a really big party day. The last really huge party day that we had at the shore was the Belmar Parade. I think that was the last big day, and I saw a lot of videos. DJs that were playing out were supporting it, man. So tell us a little bit about that track and how it came about.
All right, so I'll tell you how the track came together. So long story short, I have a buddy of mine. His name is Jimmy Merchant. He's a Broadway musician. He kept on telling me, James, we got to do a sax track together. So me, him, and Mike got together. And at the time, we had a lot of other tracks going on. So Mike was like, listen, we're just going to record this riff. And after the new year, we'll work on the track. We got him down. And believe it or not, I actually videotaped the first riff that he laid down in the studio with us. And the second he laid that down, me and Mike kind of looked at each other, and our eyes like blew up, and we're like, yo, we're going to grind this out. And probably 8 hours later, we had majority of the track done. Then we kind of hit almost like a developer's roadblock. When you're a musical artist, sometimes you hit a roadblock and you need to bring in extra ears and eyes to take it to the next level. So we brought in a good friend of ours, John Ferrugio. And if you don't know who John is, John was a #1 seller on Crooklyn Clan for many years. He dominated that site. Till this day, his edits and remixes are still being played all around the world. John's also one of the top resident DJs at DJZA in Belmar. Plays there almost every single night that they're open in the summertime. And we brought him in. He definitely helped us to take the track to the next level. And now collectively together, man, we have a track that hands down that the feedback that we've been getting from people is that we have the Jersey Shore anthem of this summer.
That's awesome, man. Do you guys have a release date on that?
Actually, you know what? We've been talking about it because obviously right now we have a lot of free time on our hands. Prior to this whole Corona mess, we were going to try to rush it to get it out and signed to a label prior to Ultra. But just due to certain things that we have going on, we kind of held back. And right now we're probably, Mike, what would you say? We're probably going to self-release this, right?
Yeah, because we have a few other that we'd love to talk about in a second. But yeah, I think that'll come in time. We have to just prioritize these tracks. But the great things like you guys mentioned, we've gotten some good support on there from the DJs. So we don't want that fire to burn out. But it's just a function of the right time of release.
No, that's a really good point. So where, you guys are going to self-release that. So I guess obviously you're SM1LO across all platforms, including Spotify, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Cool. Yeah, that's where it's at.
And most of our, obviously it's distributed, globally on many digital media outlets, but clearly Spotify is usually where we push the music. Of course, Apple, but, Spotify takes over, pretty much the entire market. Or makes up most of the market. So we're going to push it through that realm. But yeah, that's one of the things. I'm happy you mentioned that, but we're pretty happy with that. We're coming up with a TikTok campaign actually right now. So we've never used it, but everybody's doing it. So we want to jump on the bandwagon, but particularly with this song, it's a comedic type of song as well. So it's got that Jersey Shore anthem feel, but it has a comedy to it. So we're working with a few people on this right now. So that's, stay tuned. Well, hopefully that'll kind of propel the release.
No, that's good, and that'll segue into the next question, which is going to talk about like promoting your brand. And you guys are starting, from the bottom up with the SM1LO thing, kind of trying to get it out there. But I mean, to that point, people are saying, in late 19, early 20, before this, the pandemic stuff, people were saying 2020 is the year of the influencer. That people's individual captive audiences and their engagement levels are the most effective, brand promotion tool that's out there. So I think you guys are doing a really good strategy by trying to leverage TikTok. And look, you have to continually market to the people that are the next generation in the club and the people that are enjoying it now and the people that used to enjoy it. But I think those are three really unique segments of people, and they each have their own thing. So I'll give you like a really quick example. So we kicked off Parlor Talk. This is like our second episode, but we were going live with our DJ sets, and we were finding they were like that our target demographic just wasn't on. They were just not on Facebook, right? So that's why we're moving over to YouTube. We're moving into Twitter. We're using Twitch for people that are on the Twitch. Even Instagram. So it's like, what is the right platform? And I think yours are making a really good choice. Moving and trying to put some dollars into the TikTok space because, there's full playlists on Spotify of TikTok tracks, and they're making the jump into the club because the 21-year-olds are using TikTok, and those are the tracks. So I mean, I think that's a really good strategy. But
No, hands down. I'll tell you this. Sometimes when I do an open format party where I'm playing a little bit of everything, hip hop, house, and whatnot, like I'll Google what the top tracks are on TikTok, and I'll 100% will implement them into my set because it's sad to say, I feel that the nightclub scene isn't like how it was back in the late 90s and early 2000s,
Right.
where people went there, disconnected, danced, and listened to brand new music. Now, people really want to hear stuff that they know for the most part. And guess what? When something that they hear, their phone comes out, they want to do their little dance and share it on Instagram and TikTok. So I definitely implemented that in our sets, and hands down, it's working, and it's been working for months now.
yeah, that's awesome. So talk to me a little bit about like your Instagram strategy, or if you could give someone a tip, just any DJ that's listening right now that's saying like, hey man, I really like what SM1LO's doing, just throw a tip out there for someone that's maybe just starting their brand journey,
All right, so here's the deal. Obviously, there's so many important factors that come into growing your brand. And obviously, we live in a digital age, and there's social media and all that other stuff. But myself and Mike, we are very strong believers in just old school networking, following up with people, creating that connection, creating that relationship, following up with people, phone calls, making it personal. Because listen, not many people make it personal. At the palm of your hands, you have your phone and Instagram, and you can copy and paste the same message and send it to 20 people in one time. But we're about creating a relationship, keeping a strong relationship, because at the end of the day, we're strong believers in too that no matter what you're doing, if it's music or just in life in general, you get more done together as a group than you do as an individual. And the thing is, anyone that we mess with, we want them to prosper with us.
Of course.
And that's my input on it. Mike, what's your input on it?
Yeah, I mean, just touching on the Instagram thing, content is king. Obviously, like Cam also mentioned before. I mean, we're trying to stay on top of the post. We haven't been so good lately with everything going on, but consistently on the stories as well. I mean, that's something kind of grabbing the attention. When we look at our numbers, I've noticed, the views definitely go up the more you have that, I guess, that algorithm going is what they say. So we're constantly posting, life stories and things we're working on, whether it's music or just funny things on Instagram. And it seems to be working so far. Of course, what comes down really is making good music too, which is what we're working on right now. And we have a whole bunch of things that, we have on lineup that we're about to release. It's all about the timing. And as James mentioned, what I want to mention is like the collaborations, how important that is. I'm really a firm believer. We're both a firm believer. Is some is greater than its parts. So there's a lot of independent producers out there that only produce by themselves.
Right.
And what I gotta say, man, is just, dude, reach out to people. You'd be surprised how many people are willing to work and want to work because it's a collective, artistry. And there's so many different artists. Like, one thing, I used to write music myself, and then I realized, wow, there's other good writers out there that are even better, of course.
Yeah.
There's good, there's people are good at lyrics and just itself. The people are good, at whatever, playing piano and it's coming with good concepts. So that's what we've been doing. And, that's led to a lot of good collaborations, right? I mean, again, we had that good one with Castro. We had, good one with Radio Smash, one with Phoenix. But on the books right now, we've been talking with our buddy Mahalo, and he came out with that good that hit record "So Cold" that did phenomenal on BPM and across Spotify. And we're working on a song called "Can't Breathe" that should be slated to release soon too. And I know we're joining force with 2DB, which they're getting a lot of hype recently with Castro on that last single.
Yeah, shout out Danny, shout out Brandon.
Yeah, they're great creators themselves, So what's cool about that song? It's got like a Brooks type of feel to it. It has like that that real festival sound to it, and they were complimentary to what we were doing. And on that song, Lena Leon's on the vocals there. She had a great song with Tiesto.
And DJZA.
Yeah, and DJZA. So, I mean, it's all collaboration, right? We're just collaborating with good people, smart people, great artists. And, one of the other records that James will mention, we don't want to spoil who it's with, but, it's a top 4 DJ in the world. So, but again, you won't have those opportunities if you don't reach out to people, and you'd be surprised with, how many people are receptive to working together.
Yeah, for sure. Do you guys mind if we play a little quick little like minute sample of Blow My Horn?
Oh, totally.
You
Hell yeah.
All
have
right,
it.
I think that would just make it a little more interesting here right now.
Yeah, cool. So Chris is going to patch you in right now. This is
Yes.
introduce your
Oh,
song,
shit.
Jim. Introduce your song right now to the world.
This is called Blow My Horn, and it's by SM1LO, Ferrugio, featuring The Merch.
Love the napkins, Jim. Love it, man.
That's a Jersey Shore thing for sure.
Do you wanna blow my horn?
Cool, man. Yeah, Chris, cut that out. So, yeah, that's "Blow My Horn" by SM1LO. You know, I think there's a lot of elements to that track that I really like. A couple of things that jump out at me. You know, that I just hearing it again, you know, digesting a lot of music. Like that, the build has a lot of energy, like those 808s in the build. I think that makes it real fat and full. And obviously, you can't get away from that lead, kind of just that the horn sound. I think is really catchy. Kind of reminds me of the Kung's track, "Cooking on Burners."
Yeah,
as like some inspo where, you know, you play that track and people are just like, you know, they're singing it. And I think you guys got a really good piece there. Chris, what are some elements that you liked?
Yeah, no, I like it. I would say, especially during the build, I noticed you guys put that like stadium, like cheering, like background noise in there, and it like kind
Good
of like
catch.
adds to the energy build up of the track. So I kind of like that. I thought that was like interesting, not something you hear very often in a track like that, but I like it. It's definitely interesting.
Yeah, you know what's pretty interesting with that sound clip that we used, Mike, if I'm correct, that sound clip with the crowd, that was like what, maybe 100 and 105 beats per minute. And we just stretched the hell out
Yeah,
of it.
yeah,
And it happened
yeah.
to sound pretty dope. So we're like, yo, let's
Yeah.
leave it in there.
Yep.
No, it's good. So yeah, we talked a lot about like SM1LO music. Tell me like one track that's like your favorite right now that you guys didn't produce. Like, you know,
So right now, as far as like brand new music that came out within the past week or two, the song Joe Stone and Camden Cox, "Mind Control." That's one of our songs that we're digging right now. And like, obviously, not everyone is musically inclined like we are as professionals. So like some older tracks that we like that came out in the past couple months, like one of my personal favorite is Diplo, "On My Mind." And Mike, what was the other track that you said that you liked? The A-Lock one? On and On?
Yeah, exactly. On and On's really cool. I mean, it came out, you know, several months ago, but again, those are very, you know, I won't say nostalgic, but you know, I love the melodies, man. It evokes a lot of emotion, so I like those type of songs.
Would you guys say that those are the songs that are like inspiring you to like right now to make the music that you're working on now?
Yeah, that's interesting. So especially the Elix song is kind of that Brazilian house feel, Brazilian bass. You know, we actually have a couple songs we're working on right now that are, I'd say, with a Medusa style. So yeah, that is definitely inspiring in that sense. And yeah, you know, even the other track that he just mentioned, that record, you know, has like the quick the bass plucks, you know, which is pretty relevant right now. And again, you have your keys. I mean, yeah, I'd say a lot that is very inspirational, but it's kind of similar to some of the music that we're releasing now.
Chris and I like always have this conversation about how like the bass, it's like this bass sound is what it is right now, right? Just really fat, heavy bass, and the producers that can figure out how to fit that in the spectrum when they're making the tracks, like that Diplo track, it just rocks, man. I think people are just feeling the vibe with it. I mean, Chris is known for like being a more bass house like DJ. I mean, obviously, awesome open format kind of guy. But like, I get a lot of my new bass stuff from what Chris is putting out. but I feel like that's like just overall influence. What I find interesting right now, and I don't know if I love it or I dislike it, but it seems that music in general, there's no like you guys went out there and released like "Blow My Horn," right? It's a full original. Everything right now that's like charting is just 80s and 90s remakes that are bass house, like and that's a little bit frustrating from like a DJ perspective, right? Because it's like, how many remixes to "Sweet Dreams," by Eurythmics do I need? How many remixes? How many remixes to "Rhythm of the Night" do I need? And, a bootleg is a bootleg, right? Where like, or like I'll call it like a DJ edit, right? Where I take an acapella, I throw it over another track, right? That's my edit, right? But I mean, just in terms of like people just rewriting the '90s stuff, or I feel like everything's like a re-sing, right? I couldn't come up with anything, but I have a really dope singer, so I'm just gonna have her cover, Crystal Waters, right, or whatever the case may be. So it's interesting. And music is not completely inspiring right now. With like, I don't know if you guys remember this, and anyone that's like tuned in on the live stream now is like, in 2012, okay, there every week was a new track that was coming out, and we're still playing those tracks to this day. You know what I mean? Like, so like that era of music, it would be comparable to like the 80s when the Journey was coming out, and Outfield, and go down the list of those mega 80s hits. We had those mega 2010s EDM hits. It just feels like we're on this low right now, and we're looking forward to guys like you putting out new, fresh originals. So we commend you for that. So why don't you tell the people where they can find your information? Just go over your socials and how they can reach you and get your stuff.
All right, so they can follow us on almost every platform with SM1LO. So once again, that's SM1LO. Name of our brand is called SM1LO. I think in the next day or two, we're going to upload a mix that's going to be on Mixcloud, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And on Sunday, we're going to be on a show that's based out of Russia, and it's called Real FM, and they have over 3 million listeners. So we're pretty stoked to make our debut there on Sunday.
How is your Russian, Jim?
I'll chime in there too, Chris. We got a couple of your edits on that show too, man. We love your edits.
We got you got your Billie Eilish one in there.
Yeah,
love that. I heard that. I think it was the first one on there, right?
Yeah, number one.
Love it. Jim,
cool.
How's your Russian? Are you up to speed right now? Are you gonna be able to do okay on this interview?
Yes, I have my Adidas tracksuit. I got some vodka.
Duh.
Ready to go.
Oh my God.
Duh.
Oh
now that's racist, Jim. That's racist.
That was.
No, it's not.
It's that Russian virus.
Yeah, the Russian. Yeah, well.
No, that's good. So yeah, if you guys could share all those links, once we close out the interview portion of the broadcast, we'll get all of your links, and we're going to put them in the bottom in the YouTube. So those of you guys watching, you can connect with SM1LO. We'll put their Instagram. We'll get your Spotify, Mixcloud, SoundCloud, whatever it is. Jim, Mike, send it over. We'll get Chris to put it up there. So, we appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Again, all your fans and everyone can go to our youtube.com/ClassKills. You can share that link out. Parlor Talk episode 2 with SM1LO. Mike, Jim, thanks again.
We appreciate you guys.
Thank you, guys.
I want to make mention of one thing quick, because
go ahead.
I just think right now with what you guys are doing, I think it's great, because, music is a very powerful thing. It helps people unite and makes people smile and disconnect from everything, regardless if it's good or bad that's going on. So this is great what you guys are doing. And I know that yesterday that you guys had Cream on your interview yesterday. And I know that Cream and Kova tomorrow, I think at 1 o'clock, actually not tomorrow, on Friday, they're having a COVID-19 State of the Union thing for music industry. And they're going to talk about how the COVID-19 and the Corona thing is affecting the music industry and how us as a professionals, how we should prepare for it. So you guys should definitely check it out for anyone who's listening.
Yeah, I think they're doing that tomorrow night at 10 p.m. So that'll be like right after ours.
No, I'm looking at it, 1 p.m.
Oh, they're doing it during the day. Okay.
Yeah, it's hosted by Tweak Music Tips and Get Down DJ Group. And yeah, check it out.
I probably drank a few too many White Claws last night, and then I imagined a zero somewhere in there. I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
I wish I could say we were sponsored by White Claw, but not yet.
Not yet. So, yo, someone at White Claw, please. They need to see this.
At White Claw.
Yeah.
All right, so I just want to say thank you to SM1LO, Jim and
Yeah,
Mike,
thanks, guys.
Chris Lead, myself, and then everyone that's watching. I think we peaked at a lot of people on both YouTube and the Twitch, and they'll be able to play that stuff back. So listen, you guys be safe, and we're looking forward to some new music. So as soon as you have stuff that's going out, send the links over. We'll support it. All right?
Yeah, guys, and we're playing live sets literally every night from 9 to 10 on our live stream here. So any new music you guys have as SM1LO or anyone else out there listening, send it over to us. Brian at Class Kills, Chris at Class Kills, just send it over to us and we'll squeeze it in there because we need new music and the people want to listen to music right now and they're just getting everyone's home, they're bored. They need stuff to do. So let's give them something to do.
All right, awesome.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks guys.
So much, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, late.
Peace.
Sit around, bud.